Hello, and welcome to Match Reviews. We're doing this after quite a long time, but such a historic test series demanded that I make a comeback, and it was in my mind for quite a few time. But I saw the opportunity and I took it. And today is going to be a lot of fun. I'm just going to be yapping around a lot of things. We're going to be talking about today's game. We're going to recap about it. We're going to talk about how important this series is for India, for New Zealand, and also in respect to the WTC, which is going to happen in June next year. So, what are the qualification troubles for both of these teams? What situations do both of these teams need to create or be in if they do want to go to the final of the WTC 2025 and play it? And who knows, maybe win it. But we'll get to that a bit later. So, let's go. Let's begin. So, going into this test match, everyone was very confident in that India would be a very dominant force. After all, we saw the test series against Bangladesh. India also played Sri Lanka. However, even though it was just white ball cricket, India played really well there. Moving on to Bangladesh, India actually played a test series, played two tests. Bangladesh coming in India just prior to that, they had toured Pakistan and they had defeated Pakistan. So there was a lot of hype about how Bangladesh can rise up to the challenge and potentially even defeat India. So there was a lot of hype going on with that, and there were a lot of talks. A lot of people were saying that maybe Bangladesh could tie this series, maybe win this series, and provide a strong competition to India. But of course, as we know, none of that happened. And India dominated Bangladesh a lot in that series. So coming off fresh from that very dominating series, everyone was very confident India would go for a strong start and maybe even get a head start. After all, India has a very good streak of winning test series at home, and this was just probably um, going to be adding up another number. But the Kiwis were here with intention, and they had a game plan which kind of worked. India, of course, chose to bat. It had rained on the first day, which was the reason we did not start the game yesterday. So there were overcast conditions. It was a bit cloudy. It was a bit damp as well. With for future help for spinners, predictions say it will spin a bit more towards the end of the game. It will be very helpful for spinners, but taking the benefit of the conditions, it was really the Kiwi bowlers who impressed us all. Granted that there were a few very bad shot selections made. For example, let's just talk about Rohit Sharma's dismissal. He tried to go forward and, from what I'm assuming, wanted to hit a shot over long off, but the ball swung just a little bit and went on the inside, crashing his stumps. Other time it was Sarfaraz Khan who probably went to play a big shot on, I think, just his third or fourth ball and gave away a catch. Not a simple one, I tell you. It was a beautiful catch, single-handed from Devon Convoy. Spectacular. It was just like that one catch Rohit Sharma took against Bangladesh. He just jumped with one arm up in the air and he managed to catch it. This was similar, but in this case, Devon Convoy had to jump horizontally onto his right instead of jumping vertically. But standing at extra cover, he did a really good job. Coming back to poor shot selection, we did see again a few miscued shots. We saw, I think, one from Rishabh Pant. Luckily for India, it was dropped, but again, we saw brilliant fielding to, on the other hand, dismiss Yashasvi Jaiswal, who tried to hit a cut on the off, but it was a Jas Patel who brilliantly caught that delivery. Uh, we then saw Rahul just miscuing it, trying to just push it a bit onto the leg. However, had the inside edge of the bat and carried to the keeper. So there were quite a few bad shot selections from the Indians, which kind of helped the Kiwis. Not undermining the Kiwi bowling, they did really well. Uh, they got that ball to swing just a little bit at times. They maintained the lines and the lengths, and adding this to what can you say, the unfortunate events or the poor shot selection we saw from the Indians, it just got them those very important wickets that they were looking for. We saw Virat Kohli coming in at 3 today, so that was after a long time. Usually we see a Shubman Gill or somebody come in number 3, and then Virat comes at number 4. However, today it was Virat coming in at number 3 and then Sarfaraz at number 4. Virat's stay on the pitch was very short-lived. However, he only faced about 8 to 9 deliveries before being unfortunately dismissed. And it was a very surprising dismissal as well. The ball hitting the bat, edging, then going on to hit the thigh pad, and then going on to a fielder. So that is what can you say? That is what you call fate, or just a sad incident. I mean, nothing that you can control as much. But it was, like I said, it was a mixture of great bowling, poor shot selection, and some bad luck, which resulted in India getting all out on 46. And suddenly you could see it on the faces of the people inside the Indian camp as well, feeling the pinch and feeling the pressure of this game getting to them. Of course, when you have a support staff with the likes of Gautam Gambhir and Mone Mokal, they've been through these tough situations earlier as well. They know how to deal with them or how to come back from them. And that is what exactly India will be aiming to do in the rest of the test match. New Zealand, of course, came out to bat and scored a well-made 180 runs, with Convoy making 91. Very well-made innings. And Indians initially failed to take wickets. However, slowly, I think it was the spinners who got the hold of the ball, and slowly, towards the end, we saw India getting a couple of wickets. And going into a new day tomorrow, we have Rachin Ravindra and Daryl Mitchell on the crease, who are still relatively new. They've just made around 20-25 runs. Rachin Ravindra in specific has made 22 runs, and Daryl Mitchell has made 14 runs, and each of them have played around 34 to 39, 40 balls. So they are still relatively young on the pitch right now, and India will be trying to use that inexperience on the pitch right now tomorrow to take the wickets early. Because if India let them stay on the pitch for, let's say, 50 more deliveries, then they will be what you call a set batsman, and that is the last thing that India want actually to happen in this game. That is how everything went today, and which is also why I say going in tomorrow, India will be feeling the pressure, not the pressure of failure, but the pressure of comeback. Because again, this is Test cricket. Things can happen in a minute. Things can change. 1 hour can change the outcome of this game. So India's strategy, of course, going in tomorrow would be to go very aggressive, use the spinners like it's predicted. The pitch will become spin friendly once it's a bit less damp. And even today you see it was the spinners who actually got us the wickets. It was Kuldeep Yadav and Ashwin who got us the breakthroughs. Jadeja bowled beautifully as well. So India will be relying on these three tomorrow as well, with stints of Bumrah and Siraj in between. But if you ask me, I think the key difference between India today and New Zealand was that India kind of missed a player of Cheteshwar Pujara's caliber. Someone who can come onto the pitch and defend for a long time, taking a lot of deliveries, and just keep defending, just delaying what the other team wants. So I think that is kind of what India missed today. Some of the players did go for a few shots early on without settling in. Like I said, Sarfraz Khan probably went to play along extra cover. He went aerial trying to play extra cover, and that is how he lost his wicket. So probably if he would have settled a bit in, played a few defensive balls, gauged how the pitch is working, how the bounce is going on, how they are swinging the balls in, or how they are putting off the cutters, that could have been the difference between a duck and a probable 50 or 100, or an average score, let's say 30 runs, 40 runs. But that was the difference that I observed. They did not try to settle in. They went out, tried to score a few more runs to ease off the pressure. While this strategy kind of does work in ODIs and T20s, when your team has suffered an early collapse, they've lost the starting 3 or 4 wickets in a really quick time. It makes sense in T20s and ODIs. You come in, you find a few good deliveries that you can hit. You hit them for a boundary. You ease off the pressure, because at the end, that is limited over cricket. However, when you're playing test match, I think you don't really need to try to hit those boundaries. All you should probably do in these situations is defend the ball, try to go in for a single or a couple, but don't try anything extraordinary, because that's what the earlier or the previous players tried to do, and that's how they were dismissed. So in such, I think, situations, it is often better to play it simple and play it defensive rather than trying to go all in or aggressive. And like I said, India missed a player like Cheteshwar Pujara who can do exactly this in this match. However, of course, there's a lot remaining to happen. We still have 3 more days, and who knows if India comes in strong tomorrow, probably dismisses the Kiwis for around 200 or 250, 260. India might still try to score 500 or 600 runs, keeping in mind that they would have a trail of around 200 runs. So India would want to keep that trail under 200 runs ideally, but that again we'll have to see tomorrow. But yep, that's what probably their thinking will be, to keep the Kiwi lead to less than 200 runs, go in and rectify what their mistakes was in the last innings, and play a stable innings. Of course, scoring around in the region of 500 to 600. I think that is the bare minimum that India should be aiming to do if they have a trail of less than 200. So that makes this task altogether a bit simpler. But again, we'll have to just wait and watch for the next 3 days what's going to happen. Otherwise, this is going to be a very, very entertaining test match. And well, if the first day, technically the second day, but if the first day of playing in this test series was such, I can only assume how great this test series is going to be. Will it turn out the way England's test series in India turned out? England winning the first match, and everyone saying that okay, England's gonna just clean sweep this test series here. But rather than India coming back strongly and winning, I think the rest of the games and taking the trophy home, or is it going to go the Kiwis' way, helping them to substantially jump in the WTC points table, whereas India take a massive hit. Uh, so this is going to be a very fun. I'm going to be with you for the rest of the 3 days. I'm going to recap every day, and we're going to talk about whatever happens. On the other hand, the Kiwis will be expected to try to score more than 350 to 400. They've already gotten a very good start. They're at 180 for 3. They have 7 wickets in hand, and they could very well reach the 350 mark, or probably even the 450 mark, if they just want to confirm the victory. After all, this game, hell, this entire series is going to be a very serious matter for both of these teams. While India is currently on the first position in the WTC rankings, New Zealand is on 6th, and 3 victories for New Zealand right now would work really well for them. Currently, they've played just 8 test matches and have won 3, out of which they've lost 5, and they've not drawn a single one. So that has put them in a very precarious situation. And the way to get out of it, and maybe even potentially get somewhere near the top of the WTC rankings, will be to beat India 3-0. On the other hand, for India, since this is the second last test series before we go to the WTC final, so India just has 2 test series to actually overcome. One is this test series, India versus New Zealand, and the upcoming one, which will take place in December, January, is the Border Gavaskar Trophy. And this time it's 5 test matches instead of the usual 4. So India has 8 test matches yet to play, and to ensure that they stay on top of the table and qualify for the third WTC final consecutively, India will have to make sure that they dominate in this test series. Even if, let's say, India do lose this test match, which I think would be only and only because of how they played in the first innings. If they still go on to win it, that would be a miracle. I won't call it impossible that India don't win from here. I won't say that there's 0 chances of India winning from this point. They can really well do it, because, well, they do have the home advantage. They do know the pitches a lot better than probably the Kiwis do. And the Indians, like I said, they have been on a very good run in test matches, especially at home. So they will be very confident, and they won't be thinking as much because they've already, like I said, been in this position once back. I think it was in 2021 when India played in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, where India was dismissed for, if I'm not wrong, 36 runs in the first test match in Adelaide. So they've been in this situation once, and majority of players who are playing right now were in that same situation. So they do know how to deal with that, how to overcome that. So they'll exactly be using this. And of course, they do have a brilliant support staff as well. So that was it for today. I am doing this after quite a few months, to be honest, and I'm having fun. Do let me know how you felt the video was. If you liked it, if you did not, if you have any feedback, you can just go to any of the links that I put down there in the captions or whatever it's called, and you could let me know on Instagram or on any of the pages that I have, or in the comment section, for example. So that was me for today. Cheers. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.